Afternoon, guys. So I know some of y'all were really waiting for this thing to be out there so you could make it, but a little bit of a snag, and it's going to be just a little longer. Anyway, so here's what happened. I'd had a conversation with Ryobi confirming that they do put low voltage protection in the batteries, and I asked them if they do the same thing on these. Now, they had told me they did, but you see how these have got different little logos on them. This right here is the original Ryobi USB battery, 2 amp hour. Then they came out with a 3 amp hour, and these I believe are going to be all the 2 amp hour now. This little logo means that you can charge a phone off of these batteries, and you can't do it with this one. You can only charge the battery with USB. But someone came on YouTube and pointed out that while you can, there is a low voltage protection for discharging through that port. There's not for those. And this little system here, which is going to be using those large, I guess, large connections on the back of that, yeah, that would be a pretty big bummer. Anyway, we made a little test rig, which, not much to it, just a little simple circuit. Went in there, tested the battery, which, God, that's a bright red light. And sure enough, there is no low voltage protection on these connection points, which, as you can imagine, was a bit of a bummer. I don't want to put this out there. Someone's going to, possibly ruin a battery doing something. Lucky for me, low voltage systems or battery management systems for single cells are pretty dang cheap, and they are very small. We can see compared to the size of the battery here. So we need to change this design just a little bit so that this component is probably right about there, incorporated into this housing. That way, you cannot over discharge these batteries because, you don't want to ruin them. They're not super expensive. They're not nearly as expensive as those things, but ruining a good battery is still ruining a battery. Anyway, if you're waiting for this part, you're going to have to wait just a little bit longer. I need to make a couple changes to the design to incorporate this component in here. This one is a, let's see here. This one is a 3.7 for a 1080, or sorry, an 18650 battery. I'm not 100% sure which battery is in here. I haven't tested this fully to see what the discharge, what the shutoff on it is. It's rated at about 4 amps, which should be more than enough for anything I'm doing. But that's where we are. Got to make a little bit of design change on this and make it better. And then we'll put it out there for other people.